Hey, it's Tpok, and this is If My Heart Had Wings. This is just gonna be a bunch of pre-recorded stuff, just for like, I don't know, whenever I can't get something done, I'll just upload this, mostly because it's not one of the novels that I'm currently working on, or one that I have stopped working on that people want me to get back to, but yeah, If My Heart Had Wings. This was a novel I heard about when it came out, but I just couldn't get a copy of it that wasn't the all ages version, and then I found out it came on Steam, but it was the all ages version, and I've heard that the all ages version is really bad. Now I tried to patch it. I just bought it today because it was on sale still during the Steam sale, but I don't know if I got the patch to work correctly. I don't really know how to check that. I mean, normally with patches, you can tell because some of the stuff will still be in Japanese, but it was already in English, so I don't know. I'm hoping it worked. I'm hoping it's not like Symphonic Rain and everything fails. But yeah, If My Heart Had Wings, or also known as Kono Ozura ni Tsubasa wo Hirogote. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it means if my heart had wings. But let's just get going. Road bicycle racing is known as the toughest sport. Wait, is auto on right now? Turn auto off. Looks like I can't. Among other things, the hill climb is held too. While putting strain on every muscle in your body, you have to continue pedaling without any brakes. The climb is steep hill. That sound is annoying. I'm just not gonna touch there. Oh, I have to. Okay. At that time, I always think, I can't do this anymore. I'll make this race my last. Even though I think that every time, in the end, I still take part in the next race. I've endured severe training so that I don't put my feet down halfway through the hill climb. Why do I do that? Because once I finish the hill climb, my reward is waiting for me. Nothing compares to the feeling of cutting through the wind as I race down the downhill section at blistering speeds. At that moment I feel an incredible rush. Then I realize that I have forgotten about everything. The pain of the hill climb, the strain on every muscle in my body, and the days of hard practice. It's not a matter of whether I win or lose the race. I just enjoy it, and that's why I continue to ride. That's how it should have been. Until something happened. Did I crash? There's windmills not spinning. I still didn't have much experience in life at the time, and it was something beyond my imagination. Suddenly, without warning, something was taken from me. I could also say shut away or lost. However, to directly express the emotion I felt at the time, taken is the word that fits best. So there was one thing I learned. Life isn't all about having fun. I'm gonna see if there's a different key I can use. Enter, maybe? Enter. I learned a lesson in life. The thing I lost was everything. I let myself get depressed about this, but I should have thought about it a little more. If something could be taken from me so abruptly, then something could be given to me just as suddenly. The wind blew. A gentle but strong wind. It would not be reasonable to call it an encounter. What this could be the start of. Even now, there's still no way for me to know. The windmill is turning. People are overwhelmed just because of the size of such enormous things. This unnatural silhouette serves a purpose, but to those who don't know what that is, it would appear to be something very bizarre. With so many lined up like this, it could be said to be even more overwhelming. But why is that? The sight of the white windmills lined up to the green hills somehow seems so picturesque. This is amazing, to think that something like this could be made. At the very least 5 years ago, there was nothing here, just wide open space. I heard they were going to build a large-scale renewable energy research facility. The cell phone in my pocket vibrated to tell me that I had received a text. It's from Anchan. Apparently my name is Aoi? To Aoi. Did you arrive here already? Sorry I didn't come to meet you. My name is written using a Chinese character read as Aoi. Aoi. It's a difficult character and is often mistaken for Midori. Incidentally, whether it is Aoi or Midori, it often is mistaken for a girl's name, which causes a few problems. I'll quickly write a reply. I hardly ever text, so I find the key touch awkward to use. I got here a little too early, so I'm just going for a stroll. The windmills are amazing. Okay, send. The reply came quickly. They're great, aren't they? It's the new famous spot of Kazagaura. If you have any problems, contact me anytime. Anchan. Thank you, Anchan. As I sent the text, I sat down on the grass. Okay, I just gotta say, this is very beautifully made. Like, the art is fantastic. This place is on the hillside, so from there I was able to gaze at the lake and the town that stretches across the opposite bank. The rapid development of the town of Kazagaura meant that the remnants of the old buildings from the Showa era are intermingled with the modern architecture. The view expresses both the past and the future at the same time. Something white skimmed across my field of vision. For a moment, it looked like one of the windmill blades had come flying off, but there's no way that could happen. Is it a paper airplane? I got up and headed down the slope to look for it. The paper airplane, gliding gently, eventually lost its momentum and descended. Gotcha. I ran ahead of it, did a small jump, and caught it in midair. Where did this come flying from? Judging from the direction, it had to come from the top of the hill. At a time and place like this, could there be someone here besides me? I took the paper airplane with me as I climbed up the slope. Just as I was about to be able to see the top, a sudden gust of strong wind blew the paper airplane out of my hand. Ah, hey, wait. I chased after the paper airplane and ran up the slope. Kono, I can read that. Something ni. Oh, something ni. I don't like kanji. I can't read it. Just as just as I finally caught it. Oh, hello. There was someone on top of the hill. It was a girl sitting in a wheelchair. Looking fleetingly into the distant sky, a sudden breeze blew her hair, and she combed it back with her fingers. Against the background of the blue sky and windmills that spread across my view, the girl's black hair and white blouse looked incredible. It was as if she was looking at... It was as if I was looking at a completed work of art. The girl noticed me. At first I thought I should make an excuse for why I was there. Like I had stepped into her world without permission. I started to feel guilty. She's not saying anything. Some guys just suddenly appeared, and so perhaps she's being cautious. To show a reason why I'd come here, I held out the paper airplane. Did you throw this? Shoot. Okay. The moment she saw it, her facial expression stiffened. She looks like she's about to cry. Suddenly tears appeared in those delicate eyes. Huh? What? The tears that had welled up in the corner of his eyes came running straight down. As I watched, great big tears came rolling down her cheeks. Huh? Hey. Without thinking, I walked up beside her. What's wrong? Do you hurt somewhere? As she shook her head, she touched her hand she touched the hand I had unconsciously held out as if she were clinging to it. Her hand was small and trembling. Squeeze. She gently squeezed my hand. That's okay now. Didn't even know what the situation was. However, as I answered, I squeezed her hand back. Peck, peck, peck. Ow, ouch. Before I knew it, there was something like a chicken at my feet, and all of a sudden it started pecking me. What is that? I don't know. Yeah, qua. Peck, peck, peck. Oops, I hit space. Ow, that hurts. What is this thing? I don't think I installed this correctly. Uh-oh. Hat, as it was called, calmed her down at her command. Is it a duck? With a yellow beak and white feathers. It was a duck that looked like a chicken. For some reason, it was wearing a hat. Ah, so this is how surprising it is to be suddenly attacked by an animal. However, thanks to that, it looked like she had stopped crying. Is the towel okay? Critical errors. What are these? I don't know. But I am going to stop and try and figure it out. So yeah, just a sec. Oh, oops. Hello? Sorry, I fixed it. Looks like I also have to fix some other things. But, I don't want that to be a thing. How do I undo that? Anyway, I fixed the problem, and yeah, it took a long time for me to fix this. It's actually like a day and a half later. I don't know what these settings are. Seems fine though. Seems loud though. But that's fine. So this is where we left off. And this is where we'll continue. Just confused. I don't carry a handkerchief around with me. As I said that, without waiting for her to reply, I took a hand towel out of my bag. Of course, it had been washed, so it was clean. Why were you crying? If it hurt somewhere. Ah. Crap. Just a sec. Okay, sorry about that. That's not it. That's what she said last. As she answered, she pointed to one of the wheels on her wheelchair. It had lost its air and had collapsed. You got a flat tire. That's a terrible thing to happen. Just a mere flat tire for her. It's like having our legs taken away. Don't you have a cell phone?
部屋に置いてきた。
She answered, dismayed.
だから他の方法で助けを呼ぼうと思って。そしたら SOS を受け取って来てくれた人がいたから。
SOS? Oh, this? I opened up the paper airplane that I still had in my hand. I'm in trouble, someone help me. I'm on Windmill Hill. So when someone arrived carrying the paper airplane, she felt relieved and started to cry. Now she was fine, but until just now she was shaking. That must be how scared she was. Hold on a moment. The bag at my feet rustled as I rummaged around inside it. When she saw the tools that I had taken out, she seemed confused. Would it be okay for you to get out for a moment?
どうして？
I'm gonna fix it. You can't go anywhere if you have a flat tire, can you?
そうだけど、貸してもらってもいいかしら。
Of course, getting out of the wheelchair is not easy for her. What should I do? From the methods I'd seen on TV, the care workers do it by embracing them from the front. We both looked as though we'd imagined that situation and froze.
やっぱり自分で。
Excuse me a moment. As I put my arms around her sides to her back, I suddenly lifted her up. Whoa, she's so light. Because she was much lighter than I expected, there was a bit too much momentum. Before she could grasp the situation, I put her down on the soft grass. These noises. Okay, I'll have it done soon, so hold on a moment. They're made in the same way as bicycle tires. I immediately started on the repairs. She's behind me, so I can't see her expression, but I had a feeling I was being stared at with contempt. As I was quietly working, the duck was waddling around me and pecking at the soil. Oh yeah, that was one thing that I missed out on because I did not install the patch correctly. But we didn't get to see the duck. Is this duck your pet?
違う。ただの同居人。
Housemates?
散歩しようと思ったら勝手についてきちゃったのよ。ハト、あんまり遠くへ行っちゃダメよ。置いてっちゃうんだから。わあ。
Do ducks recognize their own names? When he's called, he responds by turning around. Hey, he's pretty smart.
そうなのよ。だから困るの。いたずらばっかりして。
As I looked at the duck, I saw her legs laid out on the grass in my field of vision. So she can't move them. There are a number of reasons why people need to use a wheelchair, but it looked like she had a disability in her legs. When I picked her up just now, her body stiffened up with surprise, but there was no strength at all in her legs. The duck returned from his little excursion. While walking around her, he would occasionally try to jump onto her lap.
邪魔。
As she said as she made him get down again. As I watched this exchange from the corner of my eye, I fixed the flat tire.
男の子ってすごいのね。そんな道具いつも持ち歩いてるんだ。
That's not really the case, though. I sometimes carry them with me.
私、草の上に座るのなんて久しぶり。柔らかくて気持ちいい。
As she said that, she made a little sound as she stretched.
いいところよね。ここ。
Yeah, it is.
部屋の窓から見えるのよ。一度来てみたかったの。
The wind blows through here. 5 years ago, there were no windmills, though.
5年前？
I've just come back to this town.
そうなんだ。
So she directed her gaze at something far away.
じゃああなたは故郷に帰ってきたんだ。
Yeah. She suddenly looked down and seemed lonely and strangely sad. There was an awkward silence as I continued working. The duck twisted his neck to look up at the sky.
どうしたのハット
She was tempted to look up too.
何かしらあれ
What's that?
何か飛んでる
There was something floating in the air. I'm not seeing it. It was crossing the lake and gradually getting closer. Oh, it's a plane, a glider. At first, I thought it was a paper airplane that she'd thrown coming back to us, but it wasn't. It crossed the lake and eventually reached the air above the small hill where we were. An airplane? It's not paper, it's a real plane. But what is this? Its silhouette is much thinner than any plane I know, and the wings are really big.
グライダーだ間違いないあれグライダーよ
A glider. I repeated the name as if to confirm it, and then looked to the sky once more. With its big white wings and a wide silhouette, it reminded me somewhat of a seagull.
ほら見て旋回してる綺麗ね
The glider is continuing to turn leisurely above our heads. It's flying ever so slowly.
当然よ水力がないんだもの
Now it just stopped. As it proceeded slowly across the blue sky, it seemed to be floating rather than flying.
あんな風に飛ぶんだ
It looks like it would feel nice.
降りてきた
It is. The turning glider looked as if it had given up on rising and came down towards the top of our hill. I mean, it's not like it was coming down to land. It was just reducing its altitude. Why don't we try waving? They might notice us. She earnestly stretched out her hand and waved towards the white aircraft floating in the sky. I like hat. I don't know if the pilot noticed us or not. However, the wings reflected a gleaming light, and it really did look as if it was answering us and calling out to it. Then the glider turned its back to us and flew away, back to the other side of the lake where it had come from.
ちょっと
She mumbled sadly as she lowered her hand. Bummer. We don't know this girl's name, do we? Extend the little wings which fly in the sky highly. I don't know what that means. Did we figure out that girl's name? Or did we just pack up and keep going? I fixed the flat tire and went with her into the town. This is the residential area on the opposite bank of the lake to Windmill Hill, where we were just now.
ここでいいわ
I'll take you back to your home.
いい
It seemed like she was going to say but before she stopped speaking. For a girl with a walking disability, just because she was shown a little kindness, she can't bring some guy she hardly knows back to her house.
ありがとうおかげで助かったわ
Don't mention it. If your tire ever goes flat again, call me anytime. I only said it as a joke, but she blushed and looked down nervously.
あのねありがとう
If you're thanking me, you already did that just now.
ちょっとだけ楽しかった友達と遊ぶみたいで
Yeah, me too. And I saw something unusual too. The glider that we had just seen was now flying in the air above the hill where we were just now.
私も本物を見たの初めて素敵な思い出ができちゃった
She murmured quietly and giggled. Coupled with her cute and dainty appearance was her lovely smile.
それじゃあもう行くわね。
Ask her name, dude. Okay, take care. The wheel squeaked as she pushed the wheelchair along with her hands down the empty street. Behind her, the duck wearing a hat waddled along with her. Hey. She stopped her hands and turned to face me. See you again. She looked troubled and embarrassed, then left without saying anything. She sure was cute. Where's she from? Her appearance was quite graceful, as if she were the daughter of a rich family. A little lady with a duck. It was an odd combination, but they seemed strangely familiar with each other. Okay, I'd better go. Now, I'm going to the dormitory called Flying Fish Manor. Due to a certain circumstance, that place will be my new home. While walking along the gently sloping street, I looked up at the clouds moving above. Floating so freely like that, they reminded me of the glider. That distinctive silhouette had left a mysterious impression on me. I finally found it. This place. Is this it? Flying Fish Manor. Toby... Well? I don't know. There's such a big difference between its appearance and its name. It's like giving a tough-looking Japanese tosa a name like Lily. At least call it Maison du Flying Fish or something. Does look kind of French. Wow. That's why even though I looked everywhere, I still couldn't find it. Because I thought it's not this place. I completely ruled it out and then walked around this area. Even now, I still can't believe it, so I checked the sign one more time. Flying Fish Manor. There's no doubt about it. Even so, I'm not still entirely convinced. I mean, I know a lot about this place. It's an old European-style building on the shore of the lake, and because its appearance is a little spooky, when we were kids we called this building Witch Mansion. As a test of courage, we would often sneak into the yard. Doesn't look creepy to me. We just thought it was a rich person's residence, but it's a dormitory. Kifu Private Academy Student Dormitory. Can't just stand here in shock. Okay. Took a deep breath and stood up straight. There's a teddy bear in the window. May I come in?
あら？お客さん?
Lightly dressed girl. You're staring. Whoa. Suddenly a girl in her underwear appeared before me, and the expression that I had tried so hard to straighten out crumbled instantly.
どちら様ですか?
Why? She's the one who should be worried about having been seen, but why am I the one feeling under pressure?
訪問販売はお断りしてます。どうしたの、かなちゃん? なんかお客さんみたい。お客さん? 男の人?
What? From inside, the other girl, this one was wearing clothes, showed her face, but when she saw me, she let out a hysteric scream. At the same time, the glasses she was wearing looked like they were about to slip off. What is it?
どうしたの?
Oops. Another girl appeared.
ゆかさん、知らない男の子がかなちゃんの裸を。なんですって?
What? No, that's not it. Just like a god of salvation, my cell phone rang. The word mom was shown on the display. Excuse me a minute. I quickly pressed the button to answer the call while swiftly escaping outside. Mom.
そろそろ飛び噂について落ち着いてる頃だと思って。どんな感じ？
Well, the place is full of girls. I saw one in her underwear.
当たり前じゃない。だってそこ。
Yeah? I checked the sign over and over, but then I noticed something small. Then I noticed some small writing in the corner. Girls' dormitory. This is a girls' dormitory.
あら、言ってなかったかしら。
Uh-oh. Did you do this on purpose? What is this? What kind of mother are you? From now on, I'm going to be this place's dorm... From now on, I'm going to be this place's dorm mother, aren't I?
大丈夫よ。オーナーさんも寮生の方たちも了解してくれてるから。
Just now, they were screaming at the top of their lungs.
あら、間違えて更室入っちゃった？
That damn mother of mine, she's enjoying this situation. Creak. The front door opened slightly, and the girls from just now were peeking through.
どう？サナちゃん。まだいます。
When I called out to them, like a surprised turtle, they pulled their faces back inside and shut the door. What should I do about this? Well, this is the situation.
ほうほう。じゃああなたが新しい寮母さんなんだ。
While I was explaining the situation, the boarding students, apart from the girl in the underwear who was putting on some clothes, surrounded me but kept their distance and watched at me. This is no good, is it? A boy being the dorm mother of a girl's dormitory.
いいんじゃないの？
From behind the underwear girl, she was wearing clothes now, but they were still pretty gaudy. There were some girls that looked like they were hiding but were nodding and agreeing.
誰か来てくれないともっと困るから。そうなのよね。でももっと年配の人だとばかり思ってて。はい。
Incidentally, there's now one more person than before. She was kind of timid and looked to be the same age or maybe a year younger than me. What is it?
葵くんって言ったっけ？年はいくつ？
I'm still a student. From tomorrow, I'll be going to Keifu Academy. I'm in the 2nd grade.
へえ、じゃあ年下なんだ。
Hehe, she said. What do you mean, hee? The person who came to speak to all of you is my mother, and well, she kind of half-tricked me into accepting the job as a dorm mother. My mom has a job connected to real estate, and her company manages this property.
ですって。どうします、ゆかさん。チェンジします？そういう事情なら。
The person who seemed the oldest said so, and the other people reluctantly nodded in agreement. This is just until the owner caretaker comes back, or we find someone else. I apologize for the inconvenience, but for the time being, let's all try to get along. Once the conversation was over, naturally everyone left and went back to their rooms.
いやー、なんかごめんね。みんなおぼこい娘さんたちのもんで、若い男を前にして舞い上がっちゃってんのよ。私はしぐれかな子。なんかあったら私に言ってちょうだい。管理人さんの部屋は1階の廊下の突き当たりよ。
Thank you very much. Was that all of the boarding students? There's the underwear girl and Kanako, who's with me now. Yuka, the tall girl with long hair, and Sana, the girl with glasses. The timid one who came from the back is Ryoko. That's 4 people altogether.
もう一人いるんだけど、いわゆる引きこもりというやつで、そのうち出てくるんじゃないかな。
Oh. In other words, there's our 5 boarders in total. This building is pretty big, but there are only 5 people living here. Come to think of it, my mom did say that there are quite a few empty rooms. It's old and a little far from the school, so maybe it's not that popular.
汗かいちゃったから、もう一回お風呂入ってこよっと。
Anyway, the conversation ended well, so I'll call my mother and let her know. So in the end, we somehow worked things out.
さあ、それは良かったわ。言っておくけど、寮の子に手出しちゃダメよ。
What are you talking about, Mom?
まあ、問題にならない程度ならいいけど。あ、それから、前に言ったと思うけど、一人足の不自由な子がいるから。
Oh, was she here? Flap, flap, flap. Suddenly the sound of flapping wings came from down the hallway. Then a shrill voice sounded out.
待ちなさい、ハト！
Huh? Something big and white came flying down the hallway and from behind at breakneck speed. It's her. It was the girl in the wheelchair.
待て、このバカアヒル！私のパンツ返しなさい！
The big white thing, which somehow seemed like a duck, was flopping its wings and flew behind me. The girl in the wheelchair avoided all the obstacles in her path, in other words me, and chased down the duck like a drift racer. I was so overwhelmed by the speed that I couldn't say anything.
捕まえたわよ、ハト。
The girl in the wheelchair caught the duck at my feet and snatched away a small white cloth, possibly panties, from his beak.
まったくあんたはいたずらばっかりして、今度やったら北京ダックにしてやるんだから。
The girl put the duck on her knee and lectured him. I remember seeing that before. However, it's somehow a lot different to the image she had during the day. In the daytime she seemed more dainty and delicate. However, her appearance was the same. It's not often that you see such a pretty girl. Looks like your tire's in good condition.
Huh?
She finally realized that there was a guy standing there.
もしもし、葵？聞いてるの？
Ah, yeah, what was it?
足が不自由な子がいるから面倒を見てあげてねって話を。
Sure, I got it. Okay. Talk to you soon, Mom. I replied as I ended the call.
どうしてあなたがここに？
She got as far as saying that, but then realized that she has the small cloth in her hand and tried to hide it by stuffing it under her backside.
なんでここにいるの？新しい寮母さんだよ、小鳥ちゃん。
Kotori, okay. Kanako, who was supposed to be having a bath, poked her head out.
はい？何よそれ、聞いてないんですけど。いようにも小鳥ちゃん、めったに部屋から出てこないんだもん。新しい寮母って男の子じゃない。
Hey, look. Is what it felt like she was saying as she relentlessly pointed at me.
そのやりとりはうちらはるか昔に通過したから。
The girl known as Kotori stared at Kanako like she was interfering. I'm the new dorm mother, Aoi Minase.
ハバネ小鳥です。
Kotori seemed to meet my introduction with reluctance.
この子はハト。ってもう知ってるわよね。
Hat turned to face me and flapped his wings. He's a clever duck.
本当にあなたが新しい寮母さんなの？
Yes, that's right. So you are against it? She says she doesn't like the fact that the dorm mother of a girl's dormitory is a guy, or the fact that we're the same age. There's nothing I can do about it. Kotori closes her eyes and quietly takes a deep breath as if trying to focus her mind. Kotori?
昼間のことは忘れて。
During the day? Which part?
なるべく全部だけど。そうね。強いて言うなら。
She stopped talking and stared at Kanako, who was standing behind listening. Kanako, it looked as if she was saying, okay, okay, and she disappeared down the hallway.
この私がついうっかりポロッと泣いちゃったりしたことよ。
Oh. That incident was quite startling, and I remember it well. To see a girl's tears from so close like that is something I don't experience very often. I don't know what she thinks about it, but those tears were very beautiful.
忘れた？
Huh? No, not yet.
忘れろ、今す
Don't be silly. You say it like that, it just makes it even more strongly engraved to my memory.
ぐ。 知らないだろうけど、私これでも。
Katori straightened her back, composed her expression, and smiled. And swish, with a natural gesture, she lifted her hair out.
クールビューティーで通ってるの。
What's a lul?
ビューティーよ。ちょっと言い間違えただけ。もう
Oh, I've heard that word before.
一回言うから、もう一回やらせて。
She said that and then straightened her hair back and made a composed smile again. Okay, that's enough. I get it, alright?
もう意地悪、揚げ足取り、人でらしい。
Katori used just about every insult there is, and then turned her wheelchair around. Then she hurriedly raced back down the hallway and back into her room. Along the way, Hat, who had been thrown off, chased after her and entered the room through a small door, maybe a special door for dogs built into the bottom of the main door. I looked on in disbelief. I don't need to say this, but the dainty and delicate image that she had had in the daytime had completely crumbled away. A delicate bud was beginning to sprout, and we shared a fleeting love, but cool Alul, right? When I remembered her lifting her hair and being so full of confidence, I feel like I could burst out laughing. She's so funny. From the beginning, everything's been so messed up. From tomorrow, it looks like some things will start getting interesting. I really feel that prediction would come true. Extend the little wings which fly in this sky highly.